Good day, friends. Although it probably looks like evening with this low light. There's that better. You may be surprised to hear that I'm going to attempt a spirit contact with the recently passed Jeff Beck. Famous rock guitarist, reckoned by some to be the best in the world, even by people like Eric Clapton, who his opinion should be taken seriously. Beck himself would probably say, oh no, Hendrix was better. He was quite bashful at times. If you think I'm exaggerating, look at the interview on the Live at Ronnie Scott's DVD 10 years ago, but still, he was, infamously brilliant electric guitarist even then. Unlike David Crosby, who we knew was ill and had a weak heart, etc., etc., and there was no talk about Jeff Beck's ill health, and he was touring very regularly and looked well on all the concert footage I saw. And the meningitis, well, it reminded me very much of teenagers who catch it and wind up dead in a day. Bit of a pain in the back of the neck, and then people think, oh, it's a headache, just lie down, have an aspirin. I'm no medical specialist, but that's exactly what it reminded me of, and maybe that's what happened to Jeff. But knowing little about his take on spirituality, religion, the afterlife, reincarnation, any of those theologically related subjects, I had no strong perceptions of what might occur and what might occur in the next 5 minutes. Although I did feel a sort of an image of the man wishing to communicate, and I thought, what, so soon? And again, although I've been doing these spirit contacts for years, and I'm well up on the literature of spirit communication, both the traditional and the contemporary, one is always pleasantly surprised that people can transit quickly and assert themselves in a stable, friendly manner so shortly after transition. Now, not everyone can do this, and I'm not saying that I can predict who can and who can't, but Jeff, I was getting this image from Jeff, and it could be the spirit guides, because I've done this sort of thing before, going back for a number of years with musicians of his generation. They could be thinking, well, you want to communicate to WordofGord's the guy to talk to. So fighting my own really sort of skepticism, although I'm a heck of a guy to talk about being skeptical. I'm not skeptical about the afterlife at all. Just the transition process can be long for some and quite short for others. And it would seem as though for Jeff Beck it is quick and deliberate. So allow me to focus in on that image, and while you think about your favorite guitar solos. And for some reason I can't get I Ain't Superstitious out of my head right now. That's from the album Truth. And let's see. Hello, Jeff Beck, and how are you? I'm just fine, thank you. Just fine. Very happy to be here, although my departure was pretty unexpected and quick. And I do feel for those who grieve me on earth. That's family, lovers, and friends, and fans. And I have felt that, strongly since I passed. You never realize just how, as an entertainer, how much loved you are. I certainly didn't. I mean, sure, I was a glutton for applause and adulation, but did I translate that into love? I don't think so. So, Jeff, you decided you wanted to communicate through me? Yeah, I was told you were the guy to talk to. You were the man. Oh, really? Thank you. Well, I have talked to some of your generational colleagues and witnessed some of them playing in clubs in the spirit world. Have you felt the urge to do that already? Oh, yes, I have. Jamming with a few people already, and you'll not be surprised to hear that Keith Ralph was anxiously awaiting my arrival. And let me just say to those of you, Keith Ralph was the original singer of the Yardbirds and played many gigs and on many songs with Jeff Beck. He passed many years ago, and through an electric shock from a malfunctioning amplifier, I believe. And I did have some contact with him many years ago, getting him out of one of the lower astrals up to a better, happier place. And when I say lower astrals, I don't mean hell. I just mean a place where things weren't functioning that well, including guitars and guitar amps and electricity. So, Jeff, sorry to interrupt. I just, not everyone would know who Keith Ralph is, although certainly some keen Yardbirds fans would certainly know. So you've been jamming it up in a club, have you? He says, yep. Keith got me to sit in with a regular bunch of, what are you going to say, ne'er-do-wells, Jeff? And we had a go at all those great old blues tunes. And I insisted on doing some Gene Vincent, of course. Haven't seen Gene yet, but I'm sure he's around here somewhere. He's got to be, right? Well, Jeff, as far as I can tell from my limited exploration of the world you're now in, everybody is there. It's just they're not all in the same place. What sort of a message would you like to communicate to your friends and fans here on Earth, Jeff? I'm doing great, thanks. Really, I never would have guessed how great you could feel in this world, but you sure do. I feel like as healthy as I've ever been in my life, if not healthier. And this wonderful surprise has been, thrown right at me. And it took me a little while to sort of catch on that it was real and it wasn't just some kind of dream. And, some families here, they were, some of them were surprised to see me. My transition was darn quick. And some acted like it was expected and some acted like, huh, really? So can't really give you a chorus of thumbs up on that one. And let's face it, I'm pretty much a newbie here. And I know somebody's going to say, have I seen Hendrix yet? The answer is no. Some folks tell me he's around once in a while, that he's on other planets. And I'm like, what, other planets? You're kidding, right? Even with Hendrix? And I'm told, yeah. So I'm waiting, although maybe I'm not that keen because I don't want to be like shamed on stage. Jeff. Well, I'm glad you're doing well, Jeff. And you probably won't really care one way or the other, but I did see you live in 1969 in Toronto in a very small club where the five of you, including Nicky Hopkins on a grand piano, were squeezed onto a tiny stage. And you played very well. You all did. And it's definitely a treasured memory of mine. And so I'm personally very grateful that you chose to make us a brief and welcome communication to us here. And I hope it helps people get through their grieving. I have a small audience, 200 or 300 people that might look at my videos, but the word will spread, and maybe more slowly than you'd like, but the word will get out bit by bit. And you may indeed, guides might guide you, guides might guide you, that's a good one, to some other channelers who may have a larger audience than I do. And I wish you well on that if you choose to do so. And it's all good as far as I'm concerned. So you sound like you're not a man of many words, am I right? And yeah, I like the guitar talks for me, you know. And if I could play it for you and have it come right across, I would. And yes, Jeff, I get it. Ray Manzarek of The Doors said the same thing to me years ago when he passed. And I know he's, the last time I spoke to him, leading a fairly active, what I call musical and social life there in your world, as is some of the other San Francisco types. Although I guess he wasn't really San Francisco, what am I saying? West Coast. But I have talked to a few, and I've seen Garcia play in a club with some of his Bay Area pals, and look forward to seeing you. And certainly many thanks for all the fabulous music over the decades. And I know I say that for many who would like to say it but can't. Well, you know, I'm real glad to be here and real glad to find out that it's for real. I kind of suspected it always was, but you know, you never really know for sure, do you? And yeah, I hear you, Jeff. I hear you. I talked to a lot of people that are, you know, were unsure and had their doubts. And when I'm talking to people in my professional capacity, you know, I can sometimes talk them out of those doubts and sometimes not. So if you don't have anything else to say other than you're having a great time and you wish everyone well, and I imagine you don't want anybody to be worrying about you. Yeah, for sure. And tell them there's more dead musicians here and you can stake a stick at. Did I say stake a stick at? No, Gordon said that. Sorry, shake a stick. Whoo-hoo. And I haven't had a drink, I swear to God. Anyway, thank you very much, Jeff, and bon voyage, and may that bon voyage continue. And Jeff says, thank you, and love to you all. Well, there we go. Short but sweet. I never know what people are going to say. Over the last few days, I kept getting his smiling face. I kept seeing it over and over. And I thought, man, he's made a smooth move. And I wondered if it was maybe my desire to see him make a smooth move that made it real. So I kept it under my hat for 2 or 3 days. And finally this afternoon thought, okay, Gord, it's time to take those doubts and put them to the side. And I hope this has been helpful to all you who may be listening, and all you who may pass this along as a tip to your friends. And so long for now.